Oh, yeah, we picked up some records today, so yeah. And we're going to talk about stuff. What is up, you guys? We're back doing another video, another pickup, pretty much showing you guys what we got. I got 4 records that I wanted to show today, and I got 1 7-inch and 3 LPs. These are heavy hitters, so I'm really excited for this episode. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying the content I put out recently. I went out today and did some hunting, and I got 2 things today I was really happy about. One of them you may have never even seen, but I highly recommend that you check out everything that I'm going to show you in this video. First, I would say that we're going to show you the 7-inch that I got. I was really happy to find this. I got this on eBay for like $12, $13, I think, after shipping. I've been getting into a lot of, I guess, anime intros and background music, BGM stuff, and have been kind of diving down because there's a lot of 7-inches. You have 12-inch LPs. A lot of things went to vinyl, which is really cool because Zazabi, that's really the whole, like, I guess, idea of it is using anime influenced or Japanese influenced music or Southeast Asian influenced music to kind of make something, I guess. We're in like the infant stages, but I have to like procure all the music, listen to it, and take inspiration from it, sample it, make something, throw it out there. So that's the process that we're going through. So right now we are in the beginning baby stages, as I love to do things, and that is procure as much as we can. So that just means buying cool shit. So what we got right here, this isn't my favorite series, but it is one of my favorite intros because it has probably one of the best guitar solos you will hear in any anime intro, and that is heavy. That's a heavy amount of music because a lot of anime uses a lot of guitar, a lot of drums, a lot of rock influences, but this one, if you know it, you know it, and it is from Zeta Gundam. So this is the 7-inch, this is the intro song from Mobile Suit Gundam Zeta Gundam. I guess Mobile Suit Zeta Gundam, I don't fucking know. Side A, you have the theme song, which is classic. As soon as you hear it, if you know the series, it bangs. This one was in really good shape when I got it. No scratches, no scuffs, perfectly flat, like not warped at all. But it's a 7-inch too. So, I mean, you kind of get 2 shots on some good shit on it. But this one, I will definitely be using this for Zazabi and a lot of upcoming projects for sure. But 7-inch of that, like I said, check it out. If you guys like the intro, this is one of the best intros in probably all of Gundam, honestly. That's pretty debatable because there's a lot of really good intros, but yeah, I was glad to find this. I've been getting 7-inches and it's been nice. And this is definitely a cool front cover, just kind of to show that with the little Zeta Gundam. But yeah, this was dope to pick up. I was glad to pick this one up for sure. I don't know how many fucking times I can tell you I was glad to pick it up, but yeah, I liked it. Man, yeah, we'll do what we got today. But this one I got a couple days ago. I put a post on Facebook about it. Got this a couple days ago, was really happy to find this. This is one probably my top 5 albums of all time. And they had it at Barnes & Noble, so if you guys are going through there, check it. The price has changed. I got this thing for like $33, $34, and then I went a couple days ago, saw it again, and they had covered up the sticker. So yeah, at the end of this video, we're definitely going to talk about some things that I have not been enjoying about vinyl, and some things I have been enjoying. But it's OK Computer by Radiohead. This is one of my favorite albums of all time. I talked to a friend about this a couple days ago, and I said, you know, it's an album that made me very vulnerable, I guess. Like, anybody that knows Radiohead, you know that like Tom York and them, they really can like pick at you through an album and make you kind of feel stuff. And this album does a great job of coming out of the gate swinging, and then it kind of lulls you to sleep, and then it really kind of like just affects people who listen to it. At least fans of the album. Some people may think this album sucks, but I actually really like it. Paranoid Android is on it. Exit Music, Karma Police, you got Climbing Up These Walls, No Surprises. Like, there's so many good ones. And this album's really cool because and some of you guys may know this about it, most of your LPs, especially 2-disc LPs, you're gonna get your A, B, C, and D. They didn't do that with this. When I first got it, it was confusing as shit, but then I realized it was eeny, meeny, miny, mo, which was really kind of, it's very Radiohead-esque, I guess. I got why they did it. It was as artsy as it can get. But yeah, the eeny, meeny, miny, mo for the ABCD. It was really cool. My second disc is a little warped, which kind of when I first got it. The person I talked to, I said, you know, it did kind of suck when I got this because the first disc is fine. Like the first record is fine. No warping really, but that back one is a little warped. It doesn't affect the playing. It's just kind of annoying because it was album that I really wanted to have, but it kind of is a beautiful poetic thing because this album near the end of it is kind of warped and it's kind of disturbing and it's uncomfortable and you kind of feel that, and that's like I think definitely when like No Surprises and then Lucky, like climbing up these walls and then into that, it was a lot to take. I think the first time I listened to this album because I was in a very just I guess susceptible place for music like OK Computer by Radiohead. So yeah, definitely check it out. But yeah, I was a little bummed that it was a little warped, but it doesn't affect the playing and it sounds fine. And yeah, I mean it's a little bit of a warped album, but yeah. OK Computer, Radiohead, very glad to add this one to the collection. All right, so what we got today, these are two really good ones. I'm gonna show you kind of the fun one and then the really cool one. None of these are like super expensive either. You can probably pick them up for, I don't know, 30 bucks I think is what I spent today on records. So I got two really good ones. The first one, this is actually a Walmart exclusive and I'm not really big on trying to get like store exclusives and stuff like that. If I like it, I like it. If I don't, I don't. Colored vinyl's cool. I get the craze. I get when I go on YouTube and I look at all these people's vinyl hauls and they only get colored vinyl. They don't do any black vinyl. And I'm like, okay. There's a big debate too, I guess, in the vinyl community about what sounds better. I think that the overall consensus is that just regular black vinyl sounds the best. But I've had color vinyl, I had black vinyl, and I can't really hear the difference, honestly. It's all fun, it's all warm, it's all crackly sometimes, especially if it's intended to be that way. But yeah, I mean, if you're going to vinyl for sound quality, that's kind of the whole thing, I guess. But let's just skip all the debate part. We'll get to that at the end of the video. But this was really cool to find out. It was the Superfly soundtrack. This is the Walmart exclusive. This is the gold one. And like I said, I'm not really big on vinyl and stuff like that when it's like the hype of like a colored vinyl. But I will show you the reason that I got this. As you guys have probably seen it out there, it was a gold vinyl. And I kind of fuck with that. This was kind of the whole reason I think I got this. I love the album. I'm a big Curtis Mayfield fan. He did the entire record, so it's really cool. Check out the record, though. That shit is fire. For 20 bucks, gold record, kind of translucent, too. You can't really tell in the footage, but, like, it is a translucent gold. But when it hits the light, it is shiny. So that was kind of the best part about getting this one. I was glad to add it. It'll be cool, definitely, if I'm playing it, if people are around, because you're like, you pull this thing out right here, people are going to be like, damn, son, what you got in there? And I'll be like, wait. Superfly. I'm your pusher man. Check it out if you like it. Superfly. There's a bunch of good tracks on this one. And yeah, and it's gold. So, I mean, cue the gold member thing.
I love gold.
All right, y'all, we're going to wrap it, and then we're going to have a little conversation at the end of this with this one. But this last one, if you guys are, if you've watched the channel, you know, I have a pretty wide amount of music interests. I like a lot of different types of genres. This is one right here, this album. If you guys know it, you know it. You know how good this album is if you know what this album is. And that is Return to Forever. This is the Romantic Warrior album. This shit fucking slaps. If I've never suggested you listen to an album on this channel, this is the album. I found this at the place that we went to in Cambria. It was up on the 3rd floor, chilling in a stack of records that I guess are just like backstock records that they will eventually put out. But I saw this last time I was there and I was like, I thought I recognized it, just the cover with the night and all that. And I was like, God, I feel like I know that record. Like, I feel like I know this, but I didn't really think anything of it. And then I went home and the absolute crazy algorithm that my YouTube suggested videos has become, I saw this and I was like, that's right, that's that album. And it is a jazz fusion masterpiece. You just have to kind of experience this album. It is definitely an album you could, relax to. But I think this is one of those albums that you listen to where it is just, it's for musicians that destroy everything on this. It's got a cool sound. It is a weird album at times. It has like a medieval type of like jazz fusion, like, I don't know. It's its own kind of thing. Return to Forever, they're seen really as just kind of forefathers in that jazz fusion. And this album right here, I want to say this is their last album that they did, but don't quote me on that, at least of this grouping of people. But yeah, definitely if you guys are into jazz, if you're into jazz fusion, if you just like cool music, or if you want something new to listen to. Yeah, I would say Return to Forever Romantic Warrior is definitely one that you want to get. And you can get this record for like 10 bucks. That's what I paid for it. So that was what we got today. I was really happy with it. There's definitely more records that are going to be coming in. I think that's kind of where the channel is really going, is more music based and just showing you guys what I'm doing with all my time, really. I mean, I've been changing a lot of stuff that's been going musically, and it's been a lot of fun. We just played a show, my band Space Monkey, we just played a show in Bluefield this past weekend, which that was so much fun. Had a good time out there. It was a lot of work, and I think that it was really just kind of, it was very affirming that this is what I'm supposed to be doing, and that was a very cool thing that I liked about this past weekend, and just kind of getting into music more and producing more music and creating more music and using music to make more music. And it is like this never-ending inspiration, like, I guess, geyser that has unleashed itself in my life the past few months, which has been a lot of fun. And that's mainly, I think, due to getting into records. And that's kind of where we'll wrap up this video, is like, I'm going to tell you a couple things that I'm not really a fan of, and then things that I am really a fan of. We'll start with positives. And probably number one is, in no particular order, I would say that number one is just the love of collecting and I guess incorporating it with music and interest. And it is such a deep rabbit hole that you can go down, and you can go in so many different directions and follow so many different musicians and bands and projects that they did. And just like the scarcity of some of these things is pretty impressive. And it's kind of discouraging too at a time, like, but definitely I would say the number one thing that I've liked the most is just like being able to just nerd out about music. And I've always listened to music. I come from a music family. I play music. Like, it is one of those things where it kind of is like reignited, I guess, my love for playing music and producing it and making it, and just, you know, the overall effect that it has on my life and the people around me. Probably the second thing I like the most is I'm a collector. I love, as you guys have followed the channel, I love just collecting shit. It is just, I get it from my grandfather. That dude had old phones and Civil War stuff, and just like, it is an itch in my blood that has to be scratched. But that's been really fun. I love collecting. I love traveling and going to new places and finding new stuff. And you can really just kind of, I mean, you can really find some crazy things out there that you never thought that you were going to get. You learn a lot about the origins of music, especially with getting into sampling and knowing where these songs come from, and learning that, you know, it's been used so many times in so many different ways. And it kind of is it's like, it's very reliant on other people, which is kind of a cool thing, at least with the past few months of getting into sampling and trying to make some different types of music. And finally, I guess one of my favorite things about it is just the community. I love just being able to just talk about music with people online, people in real life. Like today, when I picked up the Romantic Warrior, the guy at the counter knew what I had, and he was like, "That's a really good album." And I was like, "I know, right?" And so that was really cool. I mean, you can really have some cool conversations with people and just know that you're kind of in like a really cool little like space where people just kind of bounce ideas off of each other. Yeah, it can really help you get inspired, and that's been a lot of fun. The three things I really don't like, number one, and these aren't going to be like hypercritical, but I mean, it is one of those things where I just want to put it on the channel and put it out there. My top thing that I don't like is the amount of fucking elitism that is in like vinyl community. And like, there are people that are so pigeon-holed in stuff that they like, and they don't fuck with anything else, and they openly will like talk shit about other things that people like. And I'm just like, dude, it's such a personal journey, I think, for people that like vinyl and like collecting music. Like, you're gonna like what you like, and that is very, very needed. I mean, that's what keeps this, I guess, reoccurring and like resurgence of this medium. Like, it keeps it going, which is nice. I think that we have to remember that like there's new kids that are going to get into this. They're young, they've never done anything, but like the dude that's sitting in the record section and he's like, "You even know who that fucking band is?" And I'm like, "Bro, I will fucking mollywop your ass real quick if you don't back the fuck up. Because I'm not old, I'm not young, but I have older dudes that just second guess what the fuck I'm looking at. And I'm like, I know more than you. And that's definitely like something I've had to come in contact with getting even just the records that I have. People just openly being like, do you even know who this is? Or, oh, they're just getting into it, it's just a fad. And I'm like, well, maybe if it is, I mean, but still, it's music, we love it, and it's my money, so fuck you, I buy what I want. But yeah, second thing I don't like, and this is kind of not a big gripe, but there are just weird repressings that are happening right now. Albums that I just don't understand for the life of me why that's the one that goes. I don't know if it's to keep the scarcity of certain things, if like, I guess with sneakers, whenever they like kind of restock things or they retro something, like, yeah, it does kind of drop the value of it. But at the same time, if there are so many great albums that are out there, I don't think you should be picking the one that's kind of that good and then putting that out and then making people have to wait and doing some fucking crazy exclusive. Put albums out that you know people want. And that's where I go through a lot of different records and a lot of big box stores, and there are just weird decisions being made on what gets repressed, what gets, you know, a remaster, and what is 180 gram, like, and that is kind of redundant at a certain extent, but definitely just, that's something I've noticed, just weird stuff that is, I don't get why it's there. But like I said earlier, somebody likes it, so maybe I'm not the target audience. That's one thing. And I guess finally, before we wrap up, one thing I've just really not enjoyed is the amount of shit you have to learn. I'm just playing on that one. No, I really like doing this, but you do have to kind of pump the brakes. It is a problem of being younger and kind of always being used to things just coming to you whenever you want it. If you're gonna look for vinyl and if you're gonna look for records, let me just tell you, you need to practice some patience, because you are probably not gonna find exactly what you want the first time you go out looking for it. And that is it's not really a bad thing. I'm gonna try and end it on a positive. It's not really a bad thing. It's just a new thing for some people. I like to think that the albums I'm meant to find, I'm gonna find. And if I'm gonna try and find it, I'm definitely gonna put all my effort into it, which usually makes it a little easier. But that has been something kind of have to learn. A lot of terminology, a lot of new stuff, and that's kind of where it ties in with like the gatekeeping. There's kind of an older generation that I think there's a lot of people that do want to help younger people and newer collectors in this genre of collecting, but also there is just so much blockading and just gatekeeping and barricading all this fucking knowledge, and you guys should really be happy that people came back in, and that kind of bothers me at times. But nonetheless, we'll wrap it up there, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. These were just kind of little things. In the comments, let me know what you like and let me know what you don't like about collecting records, vinyl in particular. And yeah, we'll talk about it in the comments. But thank you guys for watching it. I'll keep you guys posted on what we're going to do with all this stuff. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming in the future. It's getting cold, so we got to start doing music. Got to start making some new videos. Hopefully you guys like it, and stay tuned. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.